Okay, this week things may be a little quieter than they have been of late. I'm uh, I'm going solo tonight, and I have some local whiskey, locally made whiskey. This one here is called Small Talk Whiskey. It's 41% alcohol by volume. It's 375 mils, so it's half a bottle basically. I'm going to open this, and I'm going to pour me a dram. And then I'm going to say what it says on the bottle. I'm going to read what it says on the bottle, let you know. And this is a very, very local product. It's, I think, the nearest or second nearest distillery to where I live. Something like that. A little plastic synthetic cork with a wood top. Tiny little bottle. Yeah. Well, it says here, Small Talk, small batch whiskey, local barley, malted in-house, aged naturally in oak barrels, made in Canada on Vancouver Island at Fermentorium Distilling Company, 2010 Government Street, Victoria, Canada. That's also known as the Phillips Brewery. Small fields, small yields, small distilleries, small batch. There you go. Small Talk. I've seen this on shelves around town. A few shelves, not all. And it's usually the independent stores, not the government stores. That's where I see that. Well, I'm expecting barley. Okay, so is it a single malt? Maybe. It doesn't say single malt on it, but it does say barley. Smells malty. A little bit sour maybe. I don't know if this has been made in what kind of barrels did they use. Was it ex-bourbon? From ex-bourbon we would get things like caramel, vanilla. But you know what? It could also be beer barrels, because this does smell like beer. Or should I say, it smells as much like beer as any whiskey I've ever had, or more like beer than any whiskey I've ever had. I'm getting a touch of bitterness, as if from hops. It may be that they did use a... It's still malty. It's very malty. But I'm getting a little bit of that bitterness, like from hops. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, it's malty. It's sweet. It's a little bit bitter, but not in a bad way. I wonder if they just took a beer, like a Phillips beer with hops in it, and distilled it just like that, and then aged it in beer barrels or ex-bourbon or whatever. I know it's not virgin oak. If it was virgin oak, you'd get more It would probably be darker for one. It would probably be more caramel and vanilla and less of that hoppy bitterness. It's a different nose, while still being Canadian. Strange. Yeah. I wonder if this is just fermented beer. I really wonder. Okay, I've nosed for quite a bit. I'm going to try tasting it now. You know, it's kind of effervescent. It's kind of effervescent in it. It almost turns to foam in my mouth, which is strange. And the aftertaste tastes just like beer. It's got that maltiness, just like beer. And it's got that hoppy kind of bitterness, just like beer. And the hoppy bitterness is on the edges of my tongue and all the way to the point. It's just like beer. Tastes just like beer. This is real strange. It's different. After all, whiskey is just a distilled beer anyway, but this is, it smells just like, I used to make beer at home when I was a student in my kitchen, and I had a great big aluminum pot. It was about that deep, and it was that big, and I would put the malty beer kit in with water, and I would cook it. And then I would add some hops, and the nose reminds me so much of that aluminum pot, that big old aluminum pot where I was cooking the malted extract, the malted syrup that made up the beer. And the hops, adding the hops. It's just like that. Yeah, a whiskey that tastes like beer. Quite different. Quite interesting. If I ever feel like having a beer, I'll just pour me one of these. Cheers.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I have the beer of sale right here. I didn't tell you. Okay. Phillips Small Talk, $31.99. 10-cent bottle deposit. Goods and services tax of $1.60. BC liquor tax of $3.20. Total sale $36.89. But I had points. of $7.31. So I put this on my credit card for $29.58 out the door. Yep, that's what it cost me, $29.58 out the door. But it would have been $36.89 without the points.